Here we go. I look very handsome today. I look like both of the Three Stooges. But I wanted to tell you something. A year ago in October, not this October, a year ago in October, I was invited to be in this talk show, this Canadian talk show. And I went to the Canadian talk show, and before the talk show, the host of the show gave this big lunch at this restaurant. And at the table, I was sitting with all these celebrities that are going to be on the talk show. And I knew some of them. I mean, I didn't know them personally, but I know them from TV. I recognize them. And one of the other few people that were there, I did not know who they were. And they were talking to one of the other celebrities that are going to be on the show. And one of the celebrities, they were talking about hockey. So I tried to get involved in the conversation. And I know nothing about sports. I know nothing about hockey. But I'm a social guy, so I try to participate in these conversations, meeting new people and all that stuff. So the gentleman they were talking to hockey with, I tried to get involved in the conversation. So I said to the gentleman, I said, "Are you a hockey player?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "That's very nice." And I said, "What's your name? I'll tell my kids know who you are." So he told me his name, but it was a different kind of name. And I had to ask him throughout the whole day about 20 times what his name was. Because I couldn't remember it. It wasn't a name like Lou. If you have a name like Lou, Al, Joe, I can remember the name. Al, Larry, Moish, I can remember the name. But if you don't have a name like that, I can't remember it. And it was a different kind of name, so I couldn't remember it. So I kept, and I was talking to his brother, and I kept saying, "What's your brother's name?" I kept saying, I couldn't remember his name. The hockey player's name. I couldn't remember the hockey player's name. So I had to write it down. And we were talking, and I said, we'll do some business. I'll get in touch with them, which I never did, which I'm sorry I never did. And then we finished the show, and that was it. The show aired, and that was it. And I want to show you who the hockey player was. He's in today's paper, if you can see here. And the hockey player is Theo Fleury. Theo Fleury was the hockey player that I was talking to, that I asked, "Do you play hockey? Are you a hockey player?" That's who it was. Now, everybody knows who Theo Fleury is. He played for the Calgary Flames. He's an NHLer, plays for the NHL, and he's been in the paper, he's been in the news, he's been on television this whole time because when he was a kid, this guy here, this child molester, molested all these kids. It was a junior hockey coach, and he molested all these kids, and unfortunately, Theo Fleury was one of these kids, this child molester molested a hockey coach at the time who's now in jail, and Theo Fleury here is speaking for all the other kids that were molested at the time, that they're thrilled that he's in jail, and you have to come forth, and all this stuff, and during the years that it happened. But I didn't know what happened. And I'm from Philadelphia, and I live in Toronto, and you may say, "Well, don't you read the paper? Don't you watch the news? Don't you watch television? Don't you hear what the hell's going on?" Yes! But I live in my own little world, and I only know what I know. I know there was a meteor that went into Russia yesterday, and I know that we won the Second World War, and I know that Kennedy pulled the missiles out of Cuba. I know that stuff, but a lot of stuff I don't know. And when I met Theo, and I apologize, and I'm sorry that I didn't know he was Theo Fleury when I was talking to him at the talk show I was doing, and of course everybody else knew, and everybody was asking for autographs and all that. So he was a big hockey player, and unfortunately this terrible situation that occurred with him, and I didn't know that either. So when he told me his name was Theo Fleury, I said, what is it, Theo? I couldn't get the name right. And I was talking to his brother. I can't remember his brother's name. They gave me their business card, and they knew who I was from TV. They knew who I was right away. But I didn't know who they were. So I apologize. So the purpose of this blog is I'm ignorant. Steve Goldberg, my best, closest friend when I was a kid in high school, would say, "You're ignorant." I'm ignorant. What else could it be? How could I not know who Theo Fleury is? And how could I not know this terrible situation that occurred when he was a kid? He's in the newspapers and television. How could I not know that? And how could I be as ignorant as I was to say to him, "Oh, are you a hockey player? Do you play hockey?" And that's what I said. "Do you play hockey?" I'll tell my kids, "Who are you?" Let me write it down. What is it? Well, I asked him 20 times what his name is. And that's who I am, and that's where I come from. When I was in Los Angeles with David Jack, we were performing at the Comedy Store and the Improv, and we'd go to restaurants, we'd go to movie theaters, and he'd say, "Well, look, there's Bette Midler, there's Goldie Hawn." And I'd say, "How do you know it's them?" And he'd say, "Who else would it be? Look where you are, you're in Hollywood. Who else is it going to be? If it looks like them, it's them." I don't recognize anybody. You know why? I'm ignorant. Now, if you're a web guy, a video guy, an eBay guy, and if you're ignorant, and once you get in touch with me, Dave's TV Empire at Rogers.com. Dave's TV Empire at Rogers.com. You hear me do all these pitches. These kids are making a fortune. I'm on a new site now called Fiverr. I did these pitches. I said, I'll pitch your website, I'll pitch your book, I'll pitch your blog. I'm getting loads and loads of orders. You got to get in touch with me. We got to jump in. Have you heard of these Shake, the Harlem Shake? These 40,000 videos are now. These kids, 1, 2, 3, they put them up, and they make a fortune. I need those kids. If you're a web guy, a video guy, an eBay guy, a sales guy, business partner, get in touch with me, Dave's TV Empire at Rogers.com. If you'd like to make a grand a day. A grand a day, that's the world I come from. You got to be making a grand a day, and I'm in that world. I do business with Shark Tank, Dragon's Den type TV product suppliers. They come to me with their products, And I got them distributed online, wholesale, retail, but television's where I'm at. I'm also doing business with a huge TV distributor to distribute all my TV shows. Pilots, I got a lot going on, but I need business partners to run the deal. I need web guys, eBay guys, video guys. Only if you like cash, and only if you're like those kids that are doing the Harlem Shake, making those crazy videos. Entrepreneurs is what I need. Dave's TV Empire at Rogers.com. Let's make a lot of cash today. Goodbye. And if Theo's watching this, again, I apologize. Goodbye.